Hey guys, Joe Saint here, coming at you at the beginning of week 8. So it's week 8, workout number 1. This is Tuesday, May the 5th. May? Yeah, May. I have a real problem with times and dates. Got my crystal light working. It's right at 5 o'clock. Of course, I forgot to check what the temperature is outside, but it's probably in the mid 70s, and the humidity level is probably up in the 80% range. It's going to be you hear the rattling in the background. That's the wind hitting the roll down doors. You notice I'm not in the paint shop this time. I kind of like having a better background than the gray walls of the paint shop. So this place was open, so I come in here for my recording. Yeah, it's been a pretty good energy level day. I'm feeling all right. But since I'm moving from 25-minute running to 28-minute running this week, 28 continuous minutes of running or jogging, kind of once again took my little, about 10 minutes ago, I took my green source vitamins with the whole food extracts, took 600 units of vitamin D, and I took 2 of the L-tyrosine / focus factor type supplements to help my cognitive abilities. And I took half a caffeine pill, and I'm trying to get in as much liquid as I can, because I noticed that when I jogged on Sunday that I sweated off around 2 pounds of water. I started off jogging at 2.8 pounds, and then when I weighed afterwards, I weighed 206, so I sweated off quite a bit. I expect to sweat off quite a bit tonight too. My weight was up a bit this morning. I was above 209, I believe. I forgot exactly what it is, but you'll see it on my chart up there when I do my little screenshot of my spreadsheet and stick it up there. This was a highly stressful day. I don't know why. It just seems like everything just kind of caught up to me. Problems at work that I can't solve, that I'm working on solving, but getting pressure from management to get solved. It doesn't seem to be like there's a solution, because most of the problems are outside of my control, like internet service provider. I can't control what they're doing. Having equipment at employees' homes that I can't access. I have to talk people through the steps of troubleshooting over the phone, and they're not IT people. All they know is that it doesn't work. And then having coworkers who are, I guess, what you would call toxic personalities, people who are constantly complaining. Everything's negative. They treat their full-time job, like it's a hobby, and they're more concerned about their personal life outside of work. And instead of coming to work on time, they're coming in late, leaving early, making excuses why they can't show up, just not taking responsibility for their lives. And they complain about not having enough money. So I try to let it just slide off my shoulders most of the time, but it just seemed like this was one of those days where it just all built up to the point. It's like it's like the cartoon of the 2 buzzards sitting on the tree limb together, and one buzzard looks at the second buzzard and goes, "Patience, hell, let's kill something." So that's where I was this morning. My boss came in questioning me about a little piddly thing about somebody's cell phone that was having issues, and the owner's cell phone. The owner told me it's defective. Take it back to the Verizon office and replace it. So fine, that's what I will do. Now my director came in and told me that was stupid, that I was supposed to figure out what was wrong with the phone and solve the problem. And I said, I was going to do that. Because that's not what you said. I said, that's because I didn't want to tell you all the minute details. All I know is the owner told me, take this to the Verizon office and have it replaced. I didn't want to go into detail about telling my boss that I was going to go and do more detailed questioning to find out if I could solve the problem first. He just doesn't trust me to go handle it for something even as small as that. So we kind of got into a heated discussion. It wasn't a shouting match, but it was heated discussion. But I feel better now. Fortunately, I have the kind of boss, or I work in the kind of organization that pretty much if I don't steal from the company, I don't get caught taking stuff out the front door, my job is pretty safe because they pay so low that they have to take whatever they can get. And you can read your own uh, thoughts into what kind of quality or how good of an employee I am as far as my skills. But I don't consider myself, an expert. But I do try. I do try to solve the problems. I do care. I do try to stick with things and try to get them resolved. Not the smartest person in the world, not the dumbest either, but I do show up every day on time or early, and I don't go home early. I stay late when they need me to, and I just try to respect the job and be a good employee. But I do disagree with some of the things, like I'm sure you disagree with some of the things that go on at your jobs. So yeah, I'm kind of killing time right now trying to get more of this Crystal Light in me, let the caffeine kick in, let the vitamin pills get digested. I'm, you might be wondering why I'm jogging on a Tuesday night instead of a Monday night, and that's because date night actually got moved to Monday night. It's one of the things where, be prepared to, if you want to achieve your goals, be prepared to change your life around when little obstacles get in the way. My girlfriend, because she officially said I could call her my girlfriend several weeks ago, she pinched a nerve in her shoulder on Sunday trying to unload some laminate flooring material from the back of her Jeep. She didn't call me to come help her, so she tried to do it on her own. And she already had a previous injury on her shoulder from years ago, and this seemed to kind of tweak it. And so she was in a lot of pain. I offered to come over Sunday night and massage her shoulder because I used to be a registered massage therapist in Texas. I let my registration expire, and I don't do professional massage therapy anymore, but I still know how. Still got my table, still got all my linens. And so I offered, but she was in too much pain. She said, let's do it on Monday night. And so we moved date night to Monday night, so I gave her a back massage and a shoulder massage and seemed to ease her pain some. And I guess the wine helped a little bit too. So we had pizza and wine and massage night. So yeah, she was feeling pretty good by the time I left. She said she was feeling good today when I texted her this morning and asked her how she was doing. So she's doing all right. I was trying to convince her to do a cooking episode with me about doing the much heard about crack slaw. I've been seeing so much on the boards, the weight loss forums, the low carb forums, and I've even seen a video or two on YouTube about making crack slaw and how delicious it sounds and looks like it is. How delicious it sounds and looks like it is. God, I'm so stupid. Man. Anyway, I was trying to get her to at least let me film her hands chopping up the vegetables and stuff, just to get her in the film with me a little bit. She may go for it. I may wind up making it by myself. I don't know. We'll find out. But I think that's going to be my next video for my dirty kitchen. It'll either be filmed in her kitchen, which is really, really pretty, or it'll be back in my old gray counters that are filled with half open bottles of tequila and spices and everything else. So we'll see how that works out. So I'm right at 10 minutes now, or 9 minutes, 31 seconds, and I'm feeling a little bit better. So I think the caffeine pill's kicking in a little bit. It's another one of those times where I feel kind of nervous because it is 3 minutes longer than I'm used to running. 26 minutes on Sunday felt like a long run, but I was sleep deprived on Sunday and yeah, just not feeling as good as I feel right now. So let me get out there, let me do the run, see how it works out. And knowing that y'all are pulling for me out there is going to give me that extra little boost just to keep going. I think I can make another 2 minutes above what I was running on Sunday. So let me get out there, and I'll be back with you in a couple seconds. I did it. 28 minutes, non-stop jogging. You can see my breath is almost under control, and it's only been a few seconds since I stopped. Literally, it's been like 20 steps since I stopped. I immediately grabbed my phone off my hip, turned the camera on, paused the music. So I didn't want to go too long on this video because the wind is pretty high out here, and I'm afraid it's making lots of noise. Don't know how good the lighting is because we've got heavy overcast skies. Even though it's 81 degrees, there's no sunlight, so the wind and the lack of sun made a big difference. But there was enough wind on half the run that it did provide a lot of wind resistance, so I did feel that. I tried to open my stride up a bit this time. It may have only been a couple extra inches per step, but I'm stepping farther than I was on Sunday. I'm very confident that I made 2 miles at least. If I can do 26 minutes and 15 seconds for 2 miles, I'm certain that tonight, plus the 28 minutes for tonight, plus the extra widening of my stride, guaranteed that I made at least 2 miles. As I said before, my goal is simply to make the time to run the whole time for each jog. In this case, 28 minutes for tonight. My goal is not for speed or not for distance, because right now I'm just happy that I can jog. So yeah, 81 degrees, 60% humidity, heavy overcast skies. Let me shut this off because in just a couple of minutes or seconds, the timer is going to shut down for the C25K app and tell me that my walk cool down period is over, and it's going to shut down my camera. Be right back. Okay guys, that's it. Man, sweat's rolling off me like crazy. It's been about 3 minutes since I finished my run. The cool down period's over. I made sure that was done before I started filming again, because as I said on my Sunday run, when the timer ran out for the cool down period at the very end of the jogging session, or the entire workout, a pop-up window appeared and killed my camera app while I was filming. So one thing I did notice this time, at the very last minute of the jogging period, there was a voice that came up and said, "You have 1 minute left." I don't know whether I liked that or not, because I liked not exactly knowing that the end was that close. I knew approximately that I was on my last song, so I kind of liked knowing I had 1 minute to go, and kind of not liked having 1 minute to go knowing. I'm leaning towards not liking. Fortunately, I only have 5 more runs in total, 2 for this week, and then I have 3 30-minute runs for next week, for week 9. So yeah, as I said, I had a pretty stressful day. Most of the time I can deal with my toxic coworkers, but I don't know, the stars just aligned just right today. My boss asked me a nitpicky question at just the right time, and yeah, I was ready to not fight, but I was ready to unload on somebody, to yell and scream at somebody. So not feeling that way now. I talked to some friends at work, just kind of had a bull session, just someone that I could spill my guts to, and they wouldn't mind listening to me. Helped a tremendous amount getting it out of my system, because can't talk to my director. My manager, he'll just roll his eyes and blow me off like, "Oh, you're stressed. You think you're stressed." And he's the kind of person who thrives on stress. He thrives on chaos. He feeds off of it. He has the most energy of any person I've ever met in my life. He can work a 15-hour day, go home and work for 3 more hours, sleep 3 or 4 hours, and come right back the next day. He has unlimited energy and mental energy as well. He takes on all kinds of massive, difficult, almost unsolvable, not unsolvable in the term that you can't fix it, unsolvable in the terms that this company refuses to spend the money required to fix the problem or put the correct procedures, correct equipment in place. So he's always working under a money constraint. Even if it's $100, he has to think twice before he spends it. So he's always trying to make things work one more day. Slap some duct tape on it. Can we get one more day out of it? Can we work around it? And he's I don't like the way he does things. I don't want to be him, but I do admire his ability to to solve problems and get things done and take on what I can, for me, would be a nervous breakdown. It would be a Herculean effort for me to manage and do all the things he does, because he works in 3 different departments. He does IT director, he does a little bit of robotic programming, he does a little bit of CAD drawing. He's teaching himself all these other things at the same time because he's just not getting into. He does video recordings, video marketing. He does his own YouTube channel where he does professional grade YouTube film trailers. He does part-time IT work outside of the job. So he has 3 or 4 clients that he services on a regular basis. And I don't see how he manages to do this job, all his other little part-time jobs, and have a family, and find time for them, and sleep. I don't admire the way he does things, but I admire and wish I had the same mental capacity, mental strength, and just that energy to get everything done. So, yeah, as I said, don't know what my weight is right now. It'll be up there in the chart. It's 209 point something this morning. Forgot exactly what the decimal point is, but I was weighing more this morning than I was Monday or Sunday. So, yeah, let me get out of here. I think I'm done for the day. Things are kind of winding down, getting to the end of this. Got to start thinking ahead to find out what I'm going to take on next after the C25K workouts are done, whether I'm going to keep running 3 times a week, whether I'm going to do a C25K marathon. I don't know. Just think about it. If you get anything out of these videos, I wouldn't mind if you'd spread my videos around. I think the universe is trying to tell me that I'm not in the right career field anymore because of the stress on this job, and it's actually a dwindling career field. IT work is not the as big as it used to be. If y'all have looked around and noticed, you don't see little mom and pop IT or computer places too much anymore. It's because computers aren't breaking anymore. They don't need new hard drives every year. They don't need the operating system upgraded every year. They don't get viruses and bugs as much as they used to. The machines are coming from the factory, like Dell, with all the RAM they need for 5 or 6 years. They come in with a hard drive that most people will never fill up. So, and the hard drives don't die anymore like they used to. So things are a whole lot different from 15 years ago in 2000, where you knew you were going to have to upgrade your operating system every couple of years. You knew you were going to have to buy more RAM. You knew you were going to have to buy a bigger hard drive. You knew your monitor was probably going to die in a year or 2. So the PCs and laptops are being replaced by smartphones and tablets and iPads, and those things don't break down very often. And when they do break down, people like me can't work on them. You can't open them up. You can't get parts for them. You have to be an authorized repair center. So, yeah, my career field is sort of like if you've seen the movie years ago with Danny DeVito called Other People's Money. He was a corporate raider, and he was trying to take over a corporation that made, I think, some type of wire, like fencing, and he was trying to convince all the shareholders at a shareholder meeting that the company needed to change the direction. He needed to be allowed to buy it up and take over the board of directors and basically break the company up and sell off the pieces and keep the good stuff and turn the company around to make a profit for the shareholders. And he said, this company is dying. You know it, I know it, and we're slowly fighting for a smaller piece of the market. He goes, if you think back to the very last buggy whip maker around the turn of the century, he may have been the best buggy whip maker in the world, but there was no need for buggy whips anymore. So he went out of business. And that's the way I look at my career field. It is a shrinking pool of work with a growing number of people who are coming into it. You know, you got high school kids that are being trained in high school to do PC repair, and they're going into a field that is dying. I am in the I guess what I would call, I am the VCR repairman of the 90s. It's VCRs are going away, DVDs are coming out, The same way with PCs. PCs are slowly going away. They'll be around for a long time, but the amount of work necessary to maintain them is going down, and the pay rate is staying the same. My wages have basically been stagnant for 15 years. So I think the universe is telling me that it's time to move on, and hopefully I can make a go of this YouTube. I really enjoy helping people. It would be a nice bonus if I could make a living on YouTube. Making a living, not being PewDiePie. It would be nice to be a multimillionaire like PewDiePie, but I can't. I have no desire to play games and make commentary. And although I admire PewDiePie for what he's accomplished, I personally hate him. I hate the character he does. Oh, PewDiePie. Oh God, I hate that with a passion. I want to just, but I support his right to do what he wants to do. I support your right to do what you want to do in life. I just won't watch you do it if I don't like it. So, and I feel the same way about me. If you don't like what I'm doing, don't like watching me, that's okay. Feel free to hate on me. I collect haters. As long as you're watching, I don't care if you hate me or not. So like when they were polling the people who hated Howard Stern when he was on NBC in New York City, they said that people who liked him on average listened to him for 20 minutes on the radio, and the number one reason why people listened to him that liked him, they said because they couldn't wait to hear what he had to say next. And they said that on average the people who hated Howard Stern listened almost twice as long, and the number one reason why the people who hated him listened to Howard Stern, because they wanted to hear what he had to say next so they could hate him. So either way, Howard Stern won. If you hated him, you listened to him. If you liked him, you listened to him. He won. So I'm hoping for the same thing. Yeah, so if you want to help me out, spread the word. But yeah, I think that's about it for now. My words of wisdom for the day. As you can see, I'm not at work now. I trucked on home, and I wanted to leave you with a few words of wisdom. You can see me looking off camera because I'm having to read this because I'd like to get it correct. I just want to show you that even on the bad days like I'm having today, I still try to look forward to the future, make positive improvements. You see I'm looking off to the side here. I'm trying to rearrange my WordPad window so I can read this thing. These words of inspiration are just as much for me as they are for you today, because I need something to keep my motivation going after a stressful day like today. Still adjusting it more so I can halfway look like I'm looking at you while I'm reading this. But these are the quotes from Steve Jobs. This article was titled 10 Golden Lessons from Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple. You may like him, you may hate him, but you have to admire the guy because he was a leader. He was a leader in excellence. He knew how to give us what we wanted before we even knew we wanted it. So I admire him for that. I do not admire him for some of the things he did do, especially to his partner Wozniak. I listened to Wozniak's autobiography, and Steve did some underhanded things to him and to coworkers. I don't want to go into any accusations because, after all, everybody sees two sides to the story, and I have no proof either way. But there have been a lot of negative comments about Steve Jobs, and I'm going to leave it at that. But he said, this was number 2 on the list, be a yardstick of quality. Some people aren't used to an environment where excellence is expected. And I can still remember in high school where I had teachers who expected me to do great, and I expected other teachers who didn't care one way or the other. And I actually rose to the occasion. Other students rose to the occasion. When you have someone in authority that you respect, who is a source, example of excellence, and they expect good things out of you, you tend to want to do good things in return and live up to their expectations. So always look for the best in people and expect the best out of them. Give them a chance to prove that they can be all they can be. So speaking on excellence, it says there is no shortcut to excellence. You will have to make the commitment to make excellence your priority. Use your talents, your abilities, your skills in the best way possible, and get ahead of others by giving a little extra. Live by a higher standard and pay attention to the details that really do make the difference. Excellence is not difficult. Simply decide right now to give it your best shot, and you will be amazed with what life gives you back. And it really is a choice. You don't have to do superhuman feats of extraordinary acts to be excellent. It really doesn't take a whole lot to do more than the average worker, the average person. It really doesn't. It's just a commitment to doing a little bit extra. Just say 5% more, 10% more than the other person's people around you. I listen to the complaints of my bosses and the people around me as cues as to what they don't like about the things other people do, and I try not to do them. So just eliminating the negatives is enough to put you ahead of the crowd. And the second one I wanted to mention, Steve Jobs, this is number 3. Steve Jobs said, the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you will know it when you find it. And I kind of disagree with that for a little bit. The gurus will tell you do what you love and that the money will flow towards you, and that's not always true. You have to find what you love to do, which people are willing to pay you to do. So they don't tell you that little secret most of the time. The honest ones will tell you both halves of that little secret. It's like Zig Ziglar always said, if you give enough people what they want, you will get what you want. He didn't ever say that you had to charge them money, because he was speaking on selling. And it took me years to figure that little tidbit out that he left out. That if you will just help enough people get what they want, you will achieve what you want. And I guess in silent, under the breath phrases, oh, by the way, make sure you charge for your services, because he never said that, but that's what he really meant, I believe. So about following your heart, loving what you do, it says, I've got it down to 4 words. Do what you love. Seek out an occupation that gives you a sense of meaning. And there's a key word, occupation. It's not if you love collecting bits of yarn and putting them in balls and gluing them together, that does not pay. You need an occupation that pays you for what you love to do. And I love doing these YouTube videos. Even though I'm not getting paid for them now, I would still continue to do them for free as long as I knew that someone was watching that was getting something out of them, that I felt like I was making a valuable contribution to the weight loss surgery community, to, in this case, people who may feel like that the jogging is beyond them. I just want to show you what I go through, what I struggle through, how I make do, how I get around, and it show you that's possible. You may not be able to do as much as me. I may not be able to do as much as you, but I'm still trying. You can try too in your own way. So it says, do you jump out of bed on Monday mornings and look forward to the work week? If the answer is no, keep looking. You will know it when you find it. Well, really, I have found it in YouTube. I gotta find the audience. That's all. I got a good message. I'm getting better at my YouTube filming skills. Just takes time. You got to keep grinding. You got to have faith. I have faith that I will find my audience on YouTube. And I may never get rich, but I may be able to make a living at it. And that would be super cool if I could get paid to do what I love to do, which is help people, and help people in a way that I enjoy helping them. So YouTube right now is doing that for me. I'm helping people, I believe, in a manner which I enjoy doing. So those are my words of wisdom for the day. Hope you got something out of it. Thumb it up if you like it. Thumb it down if you don't like it, so that I will know which way to go with this. And I'm just going to splice this in to the right before the last little section. And I will see you on week 8, workout number 2. I think I'm getting kind of weak in the knees. My energy level is draining. It's time to shut this thing off and go drink some more lemonade and go home for the day. So this is Joe Saint signing out from VSG Land. Week 8 workout number 1 is in the books, and I'm out of here. keep pimping that sleeve.